Hello, fellow hams and YouTubers. I've seen other channels do this disclaimer, so I figure it's a good idea. I probably should do it too. This is a product review, and I am not directly compensated by the company to register any specific opinion. Aside from the product they sent me for review, they have not paid me to say anything to you. All opinions that I represent will be my own and my own thoughts. Okay, with that out of the way. Emergency radios. We've all probably got one. You know, you got these little radios, you can crank them up to charge them. You pick one up just in case there's a disaster or something, and you need to be able to listen to the broadcast radio, you know, find out what's going on. Power's been out for several days, what do? Well, there you go. Problem is, you buy them, and then you stick them on a shelf, and there they sit, you know, until you eventually may or may not need them. Wouldn't it be nice if there was some use for it other than just maybe listening to the radio occasionally? Maybe you get your money out of it, you know? Well, back to the shelf with that one. Enter TIVDIO and their HR-11S emergency/camping radio. This thing has a list of features. It's got a list of features. All these badges are different features. So let's have a closer look at this little radio. In the box, we have a nice little user's manual. It's pretty comprehensive. The language in it is pretty well done. It's fairly good English. Only a very few tiny little grammatical errors, so they're getting much better at translating to English. This is a Chinese radio. You get the radio itself. It's a nice size. You also get a USB to micro USB cable, a carry strap, and I've already installed it, but a replaceable 850 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. That's kind of nice. You can replace the battery in it. So it comes with a USB cable. What's that for? Well, obviously for charging, but also, well, we'll get into those other things. Over on this left side, you have a bright LED flashlight, a flashing signal light, and if I flip this switch one more time, an attention-getting alarm. There's also a built-in microphone. On the back of the radio, we have, well, there's the telescoping antenna, a nice big, comfortable hand crank generator for charging the radio, and it's nice and smooth, not a lot of resistance. It sounds like it's pretty well lubricated, good gearing mechanism in there. On the top of the radio, nice big solar panel for charging the battery and bright sunlight. Over on this side, it gets more interesting. We have a headphone jack for stereo headphones, of course, micro USB connector for plugging it into your computer, a micro SD card slot for putting in a micro SD card. Now it's getting interesting, isn't it? And a regular USB port with a switch for on or off. You can actually use the battery in this radio to charge your cell phone in an emergency. The front of the radio, we've got a nice display that's backlit, large buttons, easy to press. Each one of them has multiple functions and 3 entry modes: a single press, a long press function, and a hold, press and hold function. So that's how you access the different menus. If we turn the radio on, you can see we get a nice big display.
Census in 2010.
I'm listening to FM broadcast right now.
Planning to essentially ask white people where they're really from.
So what does it do as a radio? Well, as a radio, you have AM and FM broadcast, of course, and shortwave. Yeah, this guy does shortwave. All the shortwave bands are in there. and you can directly enter frequencies, which is really cool. This also has Bluetooth. You can pair this with your phone or other device to listen to your music off your phone through the built-in speaker, which has a nice bass response, good, clean, loud audio. So this is a Bluetooth speaker. It's not a stereo speaker. You've only got one speaker. However, the headphone jack over here on the side is a stereo headphone jack. So if you plug in Walkman-style headphones, you will get stereo. Let's see. The SD card over here on the side. You can load up an SD card with MP3 files, WAV files, or Windows Media Audio files to take stuff with you on the go. So if you're going camping, you could load up all your favorite music on the SD card to listen to when you're camping or fishing or whatever.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. A gang of quick-trigger gunmen have moved in on your city. They've given public notice that...
Well, how do you do, friends of VMS Sanctum? This is Raymond, your host of the Squeaking Door. Come right in.
It will also use the SD card for recording. This has a voice recorder capability where you can tap a button and then make yourself voice memos. Additionally, if you're listening to the radio, there's a record button right here that if you hit that, it'll start recording the on-air broadcast to the SD card as an MP3 file for archive, for later listening or for sharing with friends and family. So that's really nice. This thing's just loaded with features. What else does it have? It has an alarm clock. It keeps track of the date and time. It can read text files off of the SD card on that tiny little screen. You could read an ebook, I suppose, if you really wanted to do it on that small screen. But, I don't know. Am I missing anything? The radio features are really nice. It has 1,500 preset memories. And it'll auto-search for memories. You tap a button and it'll scan through the band, and it does that for AM, FM broadcast, or shortwave. It'll scan a range of shortwave frequencies looking for a radio, or looking for a station. Let's see, what else? I think that's most of the functions. I mean, that's a lot of functionality for a nice little radio. So, it's an emergency radio, but if you bought it, you could actually use it day to day. You could use it to listen to the radio while you're painting the house, sitting on the porch, camping, fishing, whatever. You could, it's an MP3 player. And Bluetooth. Not only can you use it as a Bluetooth speaker, but if you pair this with your phone and you get a phone call, you can tap a button and answer the call on this device without having to reach for your phone. Hands-free operation, I guess is what they call that. So they really packed a lot of features into this little radio. I think it's a pretty good deal. I'll put links to their Amazon page and their website in the description down below. Anyway, let's see. Let's power it up here, and let's see if we can pick up a shortwave station. Shortwave reception on the little built-in antenna isn't all that great, but it's a small antenna. You could easily clip a length of wire onto it to dramatically increase its sensitivity. Just that it has shortwave is pretty cool. It does not have a beat frequency oscillator. It won't do sideband or CW, but it will do AM on the shortwave bands. Yeah, we're not picking anything up. You have direct frequency entry. So if I'm on the AM broadcast band, I can hit the enter key over here to do direct frequency entry and punch in a frequency.
Maybe somebody's doing that, but of course this aviation expert would probably...
The legalists, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole households, teaching things which they ought not to teach. For this
posturing and...
and seeks to help NPR produce programming that meets the highest standards of public service in journalism and cultural expression. From Mile IQ.
My lavalier mic is not doing it justice. Believe me, the speaker on this thing sounds great. So in conclusion, I think this is a great little product. Unlike other emergency radios, you're not going to spend your money and just stick it on a shelf until eventually maybe you'll need it. You could actually use it day to day. You could use it in the field. You could use it camping. You could use it sitting on your porch. It's a handy little radio, and I think it's a winner. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.